Hello students, today we are going to look at Python Pandas, which is there in Informatics Practices class 12th CBSE board. We are going to look at the chapter 1 Python Pandas 1, in which full form of pandas first of all should be very much clear. The full form of pandas is Panel Data System. It was developed by Wes McKinney, and generally it is a term which is used for multi-dimensional data structure data sets, and generally it is used for data analysis. For data analysis, actually what happens is it is a process of evaluating big data sets using analytical and statistical tools. So in order to analyze or evaluate big data, you need some statistical tools which are very easily given by Python Pandas. For this you will be importing pandas. So you can write import pandas as PD. As you can give any name. Generally here they have given a small name, import pandas as PD. Now pandas is open source and it provides a huge library, built-in library for Python programming. So it is very easy to use for data analysis. Now the question in the second page is why pandas? Why do we use pandas? The first point is it can read or write in many different data formats, integer, float, double, etc. That means there is no problem of data types which are to be used in Python Pandas. It can work on any data types. It can be int, float or integer or double. It can calculate in all possible ways. Data is organized, that is across rows and down columns. That means it helps in calculating or making calculations whether the data is arranged row wise or column wise. So in any dimension it can help in making analysis and calculations. It can easily select subsets of data from bulky data sets and even combine multiple data sets together. It has functionality to find and fill missing data. Now if you have got two data sets and you want to combine them, so it has got a facility. If you have got a large data set, from there you can pick up some part of the data set that you require as a subset. So this is very easily done with the help of Python Pandas. And plus it has a functionality that if there is some missing data, how to fill it. These functionalities are very easily provided by Python Pandas. Next point is it allows you to apply operations to independent groups within data. Now within a big data, if there are certain groups on which you have to do calculations, on those particular groups also you can do calculations. It supports reshaping of data into different forms. It supports advanced time series functionality. Time series forecasting is use of a model to predict future values based on previously observed values. So due to Python Pandas, you can also make future predictions regarding the data that is present on the data frames or the data series, and you can make accurate future predictions on the basis of this. So that is why Python Pandas is popular. So first is it can work on any type of data type. It can be integer, float, double, etc. It can pick out some subset or you can say data from a big data set very easily. Plus it has a facility to combine two or more data sets, and it can also have the functionality of filling the missing data which are present, how to fill those missing values. Then it can also help to calculate in any possible way. Either it can be row wise or column wise. Then it has the functionality to apply operations on independent groups which are present in a big data set. And it can arrange the data in any other form. Plus it helps in future predictions looking back at the data of the previous calculations. Then it supports visualization by integrating Matplotlib and Seaborn etc. libraries. So in this course, you will be learning Matplotlib. So with the help of Matplotlib, it helps to you can say do the data visualization by drawing charts like line charts, scatter charts, bar charts, etc. Now let's look at Pandas data structures. The definition that is given in the gray box is data structures refer to specialized way of storing data so as to apply a specific type of functionality on them. Now data structures refer to specialized way. That means in any special way you can arrange your data so that accordingly you can carry out the calculation. Now, a data structure is a particular way of storing and organizing data in a computer to suit a specific purpose so that it can be accessed and worked with in appropriate ways. As you people must have learnt in 11th also, and some people who are learning in 12th, stacks and queues, they are also a part of data structures. Similarly, here also in Pandas, we'll be finding data structures in which we can organize our data in a specified way to do calculations accordingly as per our needs, how to arrange the data. So you want to store similar type of data items, you can use arrays. If you want to fix one end, here also they have given, if you want to enter the data at one end and delete from one end itself, then it will be stack. If you want to add data at the back end and remove from the front end, then queue is also there. So, but the definition of data structure is the same. That means it is a process of organizing and storing data in such a way as to suit our own purpose, as you want to store so that it can be accessed and worked according to our ways. So here in this Python Pandas, we have got two types of data structures, series and data frames. This we'll be studying. So in this chapter, mostly we'll be studying series. Series is one dimensional. You do not have the facility of storing data in the form of rows and columns both ways. You will be storing the data in row wise. That means having one column only, and row wise everything will be stored. While data frame is a two-dimensional data structure in which rows and columns both can be available. Pandas also support another data structure called panel, but it is not in our inter course. Then here comes the difference between series and data frames, which is very, very important to understand. First point is series is one dimensional. First point is series is one dimensional. Data frame is two dimensional. Second is series are homogeneous. They can store only one type of data in it. And in data frame it can be heterogeneous. That means it can store a variety of data types present in it. It can be int, float, double, string, anything. Third is the series are mutable. That means you can make changes in the value of the elements if you want at any point. And in data frame also the values are mutable. Here also you can make changes. Then fourth point is the size is immutable. That is the size of series object once created cannot change. Now in series, once you give a size that I want only 5 elements to be stored, if during runtime you feel that the size should increase, it will not be possible. So the size is immutable. Immutable means you cannot make changes. Once the size initially has been given, it will be fixed. But in data frame the size is mutable. At any point you can increase or decrease the size of the data frame. So 4 important points are present as a difference between series and data frames. Series is one dimensional, data frame is two dimensional. Series can store homogeneous types of data, that is values of only one data type. And in data frame you can store, it is heterogeneous, so you can store varied varieties of data. Then both of them are mutable. If you want to make changes in the values which you have stored already, you can change. But the size in the series once given cannot be changed, so the size is immutable. In data frames the size is mutable. At any point you can increase or decrease the size of the data frame. So now here in the Third page they have given import pandas as PD can be given and import numpy as NP. Numpy and pandas should be available. If in the normal Python that you are working you do not get these, you will have to install Anaconda Navigator, where you can get the facility of using both of them. So now let's look further. We are still on the theory part. We'll be doing programming also. Series data structure is important data structure of pandas, and it represents one-dimensional. As I told you, it is just like a one-dimensional array of index data. A series type object has two main components, an array of actual data and an associated array of indexes or data labels. So there are two main components which are present in a series. One is an array of the actual data that you are giving or you are trying to store. And the other is an array which is created side by side in the memory, which represents the index number of those values that you are storing. Creating series object. A series type object can be created in many ways using pandas library series bracket open and close. This is a function. So make sure that you have imported pandas and numpy modules with import statements. इससे पहले कि you use series function, you will have to import both of them. Import pandas and import numpy. And the above statement will create an empty series type. If suppose you are writing like S1 is equal to PD dot series bracket open and close, it will create an empty data series. You are not giving any value inside it. So you will be writing like pandas dot series and it will create an empty data set. It will create an empty series type object with no value, having a default data type which is float 64. So by default, if you are not giving any value to your series object, the data type is float 64. And on page number 4 we have already got obj3 is equal to pd dot series bracket open and close, and if you try to print obj3 it will automatically give you it is float 64. Creating non-empty series object. If you want to create a non-empty series object, you want to store some value. So the data that you can store may be a Python sequence may, like we have learned, list, tuples, dictionaries, all these can be stored. You can store an ND array, you can store a Python dictionary and a scalar value. That means 4 types of data can be given while giving some value to a series object. It can be a Python sequence, it can be an ND array, that means a single dimension array given by NumPy. It can be a Python dictionary, and it can be any scalar values. Any scalar value means your own numeric values, whatever you want to give. So first part is specify data as Python sequence. Now to store something, what you are going to do, let's see on the system. So this is my Anaconda Navigator, in which I am going to click on Spider. I'll click on Launch. This starts my Spider software. So you can see over here, this was a program on Matplotlib which I'll have to remove. I'll say file new. Now suppose I want to create a series. In that case, what I'm going to do, I'll write import pandas as PD. and then S1 is equal to PD dot series. Just remember, series class should be in capital. In series, I am writing here some sequence. I want to give a list inside it. 4, 6, 8, 10. And then with print, I am going to print S1. And if I run it, first of all, I'll have to save it. So after saving, you are getting here the output. Here these are the index numbers which have been given, and here 4, 6, 8, 10 are the actual values that I have given, and the data type is in64. By default, if you do not write any list over here, so what was our default data type that I told you was float 64. But if you are giving your own values over here like 4, 6, 8, 10, then automatically the output that you are giving here is an index position automatically has been given 0, 1, 2, 3 as in list it used to be. And then 4, 6, 8, 10 are the values that I have given. Now let's see the next one. This was example 1 which was given in Sumita Arora's informatics practices. Second example is saying write a code to create a series object using Python sequence 11, 21, 31, 41 and assume that pandas is imported as alias name PD. So but natural, instead of 4, 6, 8, 10 I will give here 11, 21, 31 and 41. And if I run it, so index numbering is the same 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 because there are 4 elements 0, 1, 2, 3 and then 11, 21, 31, 41 has been given. The data type given over here is in 64 as you can see on this line, right? Okay, now let's look at the next question. Example 3 saying write a program to create a series object using individual characters OHO. Assume that pandas is imported as alias name PD. So again we'll have to create a list, but this will be for characters. This will be a character list. Now since the 3 letters have been given to us, so the index numbering will be 0, 1, 2. H O. And if I run this program, so I am getting here the index number as 0, 1, 2 and OHO as the values which have been given over here. The next is write a program to create a series object using a string so funny. Assume that pandas is imported as alias name PD. See, so funny is given together, so the index number will be only 0. So I'll write here string, and for string I do not need to give a square bracket. Square bracket is only for list. So we'll write in inverted commas our string so funny, and if we run it, we'll get only 0 as an index number over here and so funny as the value. Then fifth is write a program to create a series object using 3 different words I am laughing. Assume that pandas is imported as alias name PD. So I, comma, am, comma, laughing means 3 words are being given. So the numbering will be 0, 1, 2, the index position. So let's write here. But it will be in the form of a list. Whenever 3 or more elements have to be separated by comma, that means you will have to create a list. So we will write here I am laughing. So what are we getting? The index number 0, 1, 2, and I am laughing at those index positions. Now if we want to store some ND array, a single dimension array of numpy, so here they have given in the book, if you see, NDA1 is equal to NP dot A range 3, 13, 3.5. You people must have seen in NumPy arrays, if it is given 3, 13, 3.5, that means there will be a difference of 3.5 between each and every element to reach till 13. So if in 3 I add 3.5, I will get 6.5. If in 6.5 I add 3.5, it will give me 10. But in 10, if I add 3.5, it will give me 13.5, and 13.5 goes beyond the range 13. So let's see this program also. So if I write here, first of all, I'll import numpy as np, and before I make my series, I'll have to use this single dimension array. NDA1 is equal to np dot a range 3, 13, 3.5. I'll repeat it again. 3 is the first limit, 13 is the last limit, and 3.5 is the value that has to be added to each and every element to reach till 13. So 3 will be printed. Then after that, if you add 3.5 to 3, it will give you 6.5. Then if you add 3.5 again, it will give you 10. So in pd.series, we are going to put this NDA1. So you can look over here, 3.0, 6.5 and 10.0. And because all of them are in decimal places, so the data type given over here is float 64. Then example 6, write a program to create a series object using an ND array that has 5 elements in the range 24 to 64. Now 24 to 64 mein they are saying that there should be only 5 elements. Now for 5 elements we will have to give 5, and that too only using linspace. If you write only a range and you write here 5, 5, 5, 5 will be added to each and every element. But the question that we are going to do now is asking us to print only 5 elements between 24 and 64. For this A range, instead of A range, you will be using linspace. But we need to use numpy also. So we will say np.linspace and 24 and 64 and 5. And I'll put this NDA1 over here, F5. So only 5 elements have been printed. Automatically it will generate 5 elements at a gap of 10 in order to print just exactly 5 elements between 24 and 64. That means it's not your headache how to add elements and give the output, because linspace automatically takes care of how many elements you want. You needed 5 elements, and so you are getting this much. Then example 7 is there. Write a program to create a series object using an ND array that is created by tiling a list 3, 5 twice. So we will be using np.tile. np.tile means 3, 5 will be printed 2 times. So the only thing that we'll have to change over here in our program is np.tile. And Here we'll be writing 3 comma 5 as a list and comma 2. In tile you will have to give some sequence, and how many times it has to be repeated should be given. Now if we run this program, we are getting 3535 again and again on this screen, and the numbering, naturally the index number will increase accordingly, and the data type is int 32. So we have done two parts. One is storing the data in the form of list or sequence. Second was ND array that we saw. And now the third part is specify data as a Python dictionary. Dictionary you people must have done in 11th, which is represented by curly braces. And dictionary is a key value pair. So how we are going to write it and how we are going to use it, let's look at it. There is a question in example 8. Write a program to create a series object using a dictionary that stores the number of students in each section of class 12th in your school. Suppose your school has got ABCD sections, and A section has got 30 students, B section has got 40 students, C section has got 50 students. You will have to store accordingly using key value pair using a dictionary. So we'll be using import pandas. Now we don't need numpy as we are not creating an array. We'll first of all create a dictionary. Student is equal to curly brace single quotes A and the number of students 35. Then single quotes B, number of students 45, single quotes C, number of students 60. Suppose till this only I am giving, and then I am creating my series. S1 is equal to pd.series stu. Now let's see. What are we getting? All the three sections as index numbers ABC and all the values here. So ABC are now working as index numbers, and here are the values. If you look carefully, the data type given over here was int32 and here it is int64. If you are getting a single digit number, it means it is int32, and if you are starting from 2-digit numbers onwards, you are getting int64. Now comes the fourth one, specify data as a scalar value. So to store in scalar value can be anything. Let's see how. The data can be in the form of a single value or a scalar value. You can put either a normal integer on your own. If data is a scalar value, then index argument to series function must be provided. If you are giving your own scalar value, you will have to also give the index number yourself. So scalar value will be repeated to match the length of the index. Let's see an example with scalar values. As per in the book given, medals 1 has been given is equal to pd.series 10 comma index is equal to range 0 comma 1. What will this do for us? Let's see while running the program. Sorry, I did not print medals one. I didn't write this statement, because of which I couldn't get this. See, index में the range given over here was 0, 1, and as you people know, in range, if you are giving a last limit, it will never reach the last limit. So only for 0, 10 will be written. But if I write here 0, 3, 10 will be repeated 3 times. Why? Because this range will run from 0 till 2, 0, 1, 2, and there is only a single value 10. So this 10 will be repeated here 3 times, as we are getting the output over here, 3 tens with 0, 1, 2 as the numbering. Then let's see another example also. If PD dot series is given as 15, right, let's write here 15, and index has been given, index is equal to range, one, 6, 2. We'll remove the rest of the things. So 1, 6, 2, which I have given over here, means again the same thing. Range में 1, 6 means till 6, so it cannot go, it will go up till 5, and 2 here means increment value. So after 1, if we add 2 over here, 3 will be there. After 3, if we add 2 to 3, 5 will be there. So only for 3 index numbers, 15 will be repeated 3 times. How? Let's see. See, there the index numbers given are 1, 3, 5. For range, what will happen? You people already know, in for loop we have been using. Last value is always the increment value or the decrement value. So when 1 was there, 15 was printed. Then 1 plus 2 became 3. Again 15 was printed. Then 3 plus 2 became 5. And 5 is less than 6. So 15 again will be printed. Then let's see at one more thing. If the index numbers you want to give in strings also, you can give. Like there is an example given in the book. Let's see that. Yet to start. An index given over here is in a list. It's not in a range. The list given over here is Indore, Delhi, Shimla. That means now this time the index that you people have specified are a list of strings. So what will happen? If we run this program, yet to start will be printed 3 times because of the 3 indexes. Indore, yet to start, Delhi, yet to start, and Shimla, yet to start. Let's see. So here we are getting Indore, yet to start, Delhi, yet to start, and Shimla, yet to start. And here the data type given is object, because the strings are considered to be objects. In example 9 also, in the Sumita Arora book, they have given write a program to create a series object that stores initial budget allocated 5,000 per for the 4 quarters of the year QTR1. That means quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, and quarter 4. So the index numbers will be quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, and only one value will be giving 50,000, which will be allocated for each year. So only thing that will be we will change over here is, here we'll be giving 50,000. And in index, instead of Indore, Delhi, and Shimla, we'll be writing quarter 1, quarter 2, and so on. So our index are quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, and these are our values, 50,000, 50,000 for each. And in example 10, total number of medals to be won is 200 in the inter-university university games held every alternate year. Write code to create a series object that stores these medals for games to be held in the decade 2020 to 2029. Now here they have given that every alternate years the games have to be held. So from 2020 to 2029 we need alternate days, so we will be using range function where we can give 2020, 2029, 2 as alternate years have to be done, but for each of them 200 medals have to be won. So instead of index we will be writing that range. So every alternate years are there. 2020 200, 2022 200, 2024 200, 2026 200, 2028 200, and the data type is in 64, and these are the index numbers. So hope this thing is clear to you people. We have done with 4 parts of it, how to create a data series using these 4 functionalities. One is the Python sequence, the other was ND array, the third one is Python dictionary, and the fourth is a scalar value. Hope you people have understood this. If you have understood it, you can press the like button and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.